Hello, and welcome to Open LMS Tidbits for Teachers. Today I'm going to talk about how to create badges so that you can create a badging system, have kind of a little gaming going on in your course, which the students will come to appreciate, and it's a good way to help to keep them engaged. So I am going to create these badges in PowerPoint because this is probably the easiest way. I normally use Adobe Illustrator, but that is a very robust program, and so I wanted to simplify it so it wouldn't be so intimidating. So we're going to use PowerPoint to do this. So to start, we want to change the size of the slide because we don't want it to look like a slide. I want like a square so it can look more like a badge. So I'm going to go to the Design tab and click Slide Size, and we want to do a custom slide size. So I'm going to leave it set to widescreen. I'm just going to change the width to 12 and the height to 12. So we have a 12 by 12 inch slide. Click OK and maximize. Okay, so from here I'm going to delete the text boxes. So now we have a blank canvas to start with. So the easiest badge is probably just a round badge. You can make other shapes if you choose to, but this is, like I said, I'm just trying to give you a simple way to create a badge really quick. So I'm going to get the circle. This is a tip for you, a little trick. If you hold down Shift anytime you draw a shape, it will give you a perfect shape. So it'll give you a perfect square, a perfect circle, perfect triangle, whatever the shape is. If you hold down Shift as you drag, it'll be perfect. Okay, so we have our circle there, and I'm just going to fill that in. I like this color blue, and I'm going to remove the outline. I typically don't keep the outline on my shapes. So now I want another circle here. So I'm going to hold down Shift. I'm going to draw that circle so that it's just a little smaller than the one I just drew. You can see that it gives me those guides. So I see that it is directly in the middle or in the center. And I'm going to choose a color in the same color palette, just a lighter version of it. I think I like this one. And for this one, I actually am going to add a border. I'm going to make it white, and I'm going to thicken it up. I'll put it at 6 points. All right, there we go. Okay, so now it's kind of starting to look like a badge. So what we need to do now is add a banner. And they have these banners, stars and banners down here for you to choose from. So you have a few options here. You have the scrolls, you have the wavy banners, you have these. I find that these ribbons don't work all that well. So you might want to go with the scroll or just a regular wavy banner. So I'm just going to click the wave and draw that over my circle. Okay, and I'll stretch it out a little more so that it's okay. There we go. Okay, so I have my wave now. I'm going to fill that in with the same color as the outside color, and I'm actually going to make the shape outline white as well, and I'll make it a little thicker. All right, so now it's really starting to look more like a badge. So before we add our text, I'm going to add a picture here or an icon. That's what you want to work with when you're dealing with badges. So one awesome thing in PowerPoint, if I go to Insert, they already have these built-in icons, and they have several to choose from. So since we're going to call this badge Critical Thinker, so I'm going to grab this little guy right here that looks like he has a lot going on in his brain. and insert. Once again, I'm going to hold down Shift and drag, and so I get my Brainiac here. Alright, and I'm going to use my guides to try to put him directly in the middle. There we go. Okay. Alright, so now what I want to do is I don't want his neck in front of this banner. So I'm actually going to click the banner, right click, and tell it to bring the banner to the front. So that way it puts my little person in the back. And now the awesome thing about using icons in PowerPoint is that you get to change the color of them to whatever you want. I'm going to change the fill color to the same blue, or maybe you want to use a different color. Maybe you want them yellow or red or something like that. But I like very minimalist design, so I'm going to stick with that same color. And now I'm going to just add my text here. I am going to right click, click edit text, and this is my critical thinker badge. So after I type that text in, I want to make it larger. You can make it as large as you like. If you want to bold it, you want to make it a different font, a different color, whatever the case may be. Alright, so now I have my critical thinker badge. I don't like the way this is sitting in here, so I might just take my my rotate handle here and try to, well, no, that's not gonna work. It would have to be in a separate text box. Okay, so we'll just leave it as is. Let me see if it looks a little better if I change the font size, or the font rather. Okay, so basically what I did was I ended up adding another text box on top of this banner because I wanted to adjust the banner a little bit. You can see how I don't have as much space above the word critical and underneath the word thinker. So, and then I just changed the font. I went old school with Times New Roman and turned it, made it italic. Okay, so now I have all of that done. So this icon, you can use those icons that are already built into PowerPoint, or I have given you a website several times before called flat, F-L-A-T, icon.com, and I have accumulated quite a bit of icons from that website. It's my favorite website for these little icons. They're so cute. They make a lot of stuff, and you see the icons all the time in my courses. In this course, as a matter of fact. So I'm going to go grab this little guy right here, my idea guy, and I am going to make this a little smaller so his light bulb and everything will fit. Alright, and after that, I am going to right click and I'm going to send him backwards. Now the difference between the two, send to back sends the shape or the object behind every other object. Send backward takes steps back, so it only sends it behind certain objects. You see how it took those 2 steps back, and now he's where I want him, but I don't necessarily like him against this background color. So I can click that, go to shape format, shape fill. What I absolutely positively love about PowerPoint is they have this eyedropper tool. So I can use that and I can change this to a different color. I don't necessarily like that, but I am going to leave it alone. No, I'm not. I can't. Okay, I'm going to make it just a little bit lighter, and I think that'll do the trick. Awesome. Okay. So now I have my little cutesy critical thinker badge, And what I'm going to do now is group everything together. So you see where my mouse pointer is. I'm going to start up here. I'm going to hold it down and just drag it over everything. And look, it selects everything. And now I can come up here and click group. You can also just right click and choose group from that menu. Alright, so now that I have my badge, now I'm going to save it. So what you want to do is save this as a PNG. That'll be the best way to, so you can save the PowerPoint file itself, and then when you go to save as, I will just put this in my PowerPoint folder. So here's the trick to saving it as a PNG. When you click the down arrow next to file types, you'll choose PNG, Portable Network Graphics format, and then you can name it. So this is my critical, I have my caps lock on. My critical thinker badge. Alright, so now when I click save, it's going to ask me, okay, which slides do you want to export? Well, I only have that one. If you have several, you can click all slides and it'll put them all in one folder for you. But I'm just going to save just this one. And the next step is going to be for me to show you how to actually put this on OpenLMS. Now I'm in OpenLMS and I am in our course, my OpenLMS. So I'm going to go to the gear icon and I'm going to click badges and add a new badge. So now I can name my badge. It's Critical Thinker version 1, or I guess I could just put 1. The description, congratulations, you have escaped our digital escape room and have been rewarded with the Critical Thinker badge. Alright, so now here's where I put my picture. I'm going to choose a file. I just saved that file in my PowerPoint folder. So I'll navigate there. There's my Critical Thinker badge. Open and upload this file. Alright, so from here, I mean, you could put this information in. I'm not sure where exactly it shows up. Okay. Alright, so now we create the badge. So this is the important part. So we can see our critical thinking badge or critical thinker. And now what I want to do is tell it, I have to set criteria to say when to award this badge. So I'm going to, you can manually issue the badge. You can do it at the completion of the whole class. You can base it on activity completion. So that's what I want to do. Alright, so it's going to show me all the activities that I have in this course, and I just go and I choose the activity that I want to award the badge for. So this one was supposed to be for the breakout room. And so I'm going to click that page, and actually I'm going to create another activity for this badge. But just for the sake of this tutorial, we'll just use that page. And so once I pick my criteria, then I click Save. Okay, so now you can see it's based on activity completion. The following activity has to be completed. Okay. So then now when I click Enable Access, anybody who completes that activity is going to automatically be awarded with this badge. And you've seen badges in my other courses. You've won badges. And to check to see the badges, I'm not going to enable access because I actually don't want this badge for that particular page. So I'll delete that and let me go out of here. So when you are in a class, if you want to see the badges that you've been awarded, and your students will do the same thing, when you go to class tools, you'll be able to click on badges and you'll be able to see any badges that you've been awarded for this course. So that's pretty much it. It's a simple process, but it just takes some time, especially if you're like me and you want to get the colors right and the fonts and all of that good stuff before you upload it here. You also could just use just a regular normal picture as a badge, but I like to actually create what looks like an actual badge. So I think that's a little more fun and authentic, all of that good stuff. So that's it. Thank you for joining me, and I hope this helps to give you some more ideas about how you can keep your students engaged.